very frum people have never stopped to think, am I doing this for me or for Hashem? And if I do it for Hashem, is it really important to Him? To know that not only is it important to Him, it's the entire purpose of all of creation. Well, that changes everything. And you can say the same thing to a non-Jew, and it changes everything for them. It's a universal message because it is the truth of the world. Yeah?
I'm still trying to understand, if Hashem doesn't need us, but He does need us, why not?
Okay, so let's compare it to a marriage. A man says to a woman, please marry me. I can't live without you. Should she marry him? Or recommend a good therapist? You can't live without me? You need help. Huh? I can't hear. I can't hear. Can somebody? Huh?
Is it limiting Hashem when we say?
No. On the contrary. On the contrary.
If something is perfect, it can't benefit from anything.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
If something is perfect, how could it benefit from anything?
Oh, because perfect is not perfect. Perfect is lifeless.
What is perfect and not perfect?
There's got to be something more than perfect, because perfect is a dead end. In other words, if Hashem were perfect and happy, He wouldn't have created the world. No? Huh? Yes, but listen, being perfect is not all there is to be. There's more to that. We're going back to the marriage. You want to marry a man who can't live without you? Of course not.
I'm person can survive his spouse, God forbid, chas v'shalom, there are circumstances where they don't stay married. But if a person's married to someone who they feel they can't live without that person, isn't that healthy? That's where I'm confused.
Okay, let me explain that a little bit, because it's important for your marriage. A man says, I can't live without you. He's lying. That's number one. Because you're at least 20 years old and you've lived without me, so don't lie. Now, what if it's really true? He really can't live without you. Well, then get him a nurse. One second. On the other hand, imagine if a man says to a woman, please marry me. I can live without you. Would you marry him? No, you can live without me, so live without me. What does a man who is healthy actually say? Please marry me. I can live without you, but what kind of life is that? In other words, listen. In other words, a man should be able to say, I can manage all by myself. I can even make eggs. All by myself. I'm perfect. I can live without you forever. But what kind of life is that? So Hashem says, I am perfect. But I'm not happy that way. What kind of life is that? I'm sorry, I can't hear.
I've never learned the Tanya. This is based on the Tanya. I apologize.
Well, we're here to talk about the secrets of Torah. Not surprising you've never heard this before. This is the really intimate part of Torah, which was not revealed until 200 years ago, which is quite late in history. What happened in 71?
Yeah, you mentioned 1971. Is that when Tanya started to, I don't know where that number.
No, that's when I realized what Tanya is saying. That's when I realized what Tanya is saying, because of a very simple thing. Let me review this. I'm talking to these women and trying to convince them that they should get involved in Yiddishkeit. And they're listening, and they're saying, that's interesting. Oh, that's really nice. Wow, Torah says that? Brilliant. But you know what? I don't need this. I don't need it. Nice, thank you. I don't need it. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I convince them that they need it? I try to talk to them about, your grandmother, your grandfather, Yom Kippur, but my grandmother, my grandfather went to a nightclub on Yom Kippur. What do you say? I found no connection, no way that I could make Yiddishkeit, because they had this very, very legitimate response. It's fine, it's great. You want to keep it, go right ahead. But I don't need this. I'm living a life. When I realized to try to convince people to do mitzvahs because they need it, this is Torah. This is therapy. It's psychology. It's not Torah. Torah means get past yourself, get past your needs, get past your interests, get even past your desire to go to Shamayim when you die, and do something for Hashem. That's Torah, that's Yiddishkeit. And when I said that, wow, the discussion lasted all night long. So, again, let's make it clear. Is Hashem perfect? Of course. But he wants to be perfect with you, not without you. That's why we, who are created in his image, also feel terrible if we're alone. Why is it so painful to be alone? Because you don't know how to park a car? Because you can't take out the garbage yourself? For that you need someone? No, for that you need something. A robot. A self-parking car. Why don't you want to be alone? Because you're created in his image. He doesn't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. For godly reasons, not for human reasons. So I always wondered, Hashem says, Lo tov heyes ha'adam levadai. It's not good to be alone. And yet wherever you go, people are always saying, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Can you just leave me alone? Wait a minute. It's not good to be alone. Why does everybody want to be alone? The human nature is, I'd rather be alone. I don't want to bother with you. I don't want to have to think about you. I don't want to have to schedule you into my schedule. I'd much rather be alone. That's the human part. The fact that we're created b'tzalmei u'b'dmusei of Hashem, we have some things in common with him. And the most important thing is, can't stand being alone. Not because we're incapable. You see, now the words of the Torah are perfect. What did Hashem say to Adam? It's hard to be alone? No. It's impractical to be alone? No. What's wrong with being alone? Lo toiv. There's nothing good about it. Yes, you're completely capable. You can do it all by yourself. So what? That's good? It's practical. It's efficient. It's not good. Goodness begins when you have someone besides you. Where did we get that from? From Hashem.
Yeah, we have like 2 minutes for another question.
Anybody have a 2-minute question?
If the whole purpose is to do something you don't benefit, only to benefit Hashem, do it only Hashem, why the way of our creation is this for everything we do, we end up benefiting. If we're down, we benefit. In everything we do, we end up benefiting. At the end of the day, we feel we should do something for ourselves.
I'm not sure I heard the question. Let me repeat it. If everything we do is for Hashem, then how do we end up benefiting?
Now, if this is what we have to do, why is it created? It's in the end of the day, whatever we do for ourselves. We'll benefit in everything.
We end up
You do benefit?
even though.
Yes, you do benefit?
We do it for Hashem, we still benefit in everything.
Yeah.
It's like having the difference in everything. We do it because
Well,
it's
let's-
for the money and human.
Okay. Doesn't the Mishnah say, don't do the mitzvah for the reward? Al tiyu ka'avodim hamisham shemes harav al menas lekabel pras? We should do the mitzvah without thought of a reward. But are there rewards? Yes. It's not surprising. If you do what Hashem intended for you to do and what works for Him, of course it's going to be good for you too. Getting closer to Hashem, how can that not be good? Having a closer relationship with Him, how can that not be good? But that's not why we're doing it. So when Hashem says, for this mitzvah you get this reward, for this avera you get this punishment, He never meant, don't do the avera because of the punishment. He never meant that to be your motivation. He's just telling you the nature of the mitzvah and the nature of the avera. It's like when you buy a dress and the manufacturer says, don't machine wash. So you don't machine wash. Why? Because you're afraid of what it's going to do to the dress? If you do put it into the machine and the dress shrinks, is that because the manufacturer is punishing you? It's not a punishment, it's just a stupidity. You were told this is going to happen and you did it anyway? So the manufacturer is not threatening you. He doesn't care if it shrinks after you've paid. He's simply telling you the nature of the material. If you put this in your washing machine, it will shrink. Now do whatever you want. If you like the dress, you won't put it in the washing machine. So yes, there is reward and there is punishment, but the Mishnah says that's not why you would do what Hashem asks. You do because it's for Him, and that's the greatest simcha. Is it starting to make a little sense? No, not yet? If you want to learn more, go online. There are classes in Tanya every day, the daily portion of Tanya. It'll open your eyes. It'll feel like you're getting oxygen into your Yiddishkeit. You will come alive and you will suddenly be infectious. People around you will say, what are you doing? Whatever you're doing, I want to have some of that. Because you seem to be having real pleasure from your Yiddishkeit. Who wouldn't want that? So thank you for listening. Hatzlacha Rabba. We're here to change the world for Hashem. It's going to happen. It is happening. We just have to make sure that we don't sit by and watch it happen without participating, like a spectator. So do what you can to make the world a better place for Hashem. Good night.